Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about some common mistakes when we use the standard method of division. Remember last time we talked about the standard method being the method that most people use, and we talked about how that's dividing, multiplying, subtracting, and bringing down. Those are our steps. We talked about remembering that by saying, does McDonald's serve burgers? And we talked about the value of each one of these steps. We said dividing is where we make a guess as to how many times we think our divisor is going to fit into that part of the dividend. Then multiplying is we check to see if our guess was too big. Subtracting is where we check to see if our guess was too small. And then if we have any numbers left, we have to bring those down and start over again. This is the standard method of division. Today, I want to practice on 2 problems. And then if you get perfect on those 2 problems, you don't have to watch the last part of the video. But the last part of the video will show 2 ways that people commonly make mistakes when they're dividing using the standard method. So let's look at 2 problems. And I'm going to let you follow along and try them out. So I'm going to try first 81 divided by 3. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one. 81 divided by 3. When you think you have your answer, unpause the video and come on back. Okay, for me, the first thing that I'll do is I'll write in my D, M, S, B letters. That's does McDonald's serve burgers? And that helps me to remember the steps that I'm going to need to use. First, I'm going to divide. I'm going to say how many times do I think 3 fits into 8? I'm going to guess that 3 fits into 8 a total of 2 times. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Is my number too high or is my number too low? What do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Is my number too high or is my number too low? Let's test it out. Let's see how I did. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 2, which will give me 6. Because 6 can fit into 8, 6 is less than 8, I know that I didn't go too high. Let's do my subtraction to make sure that I didn't go too low. Minus, and a 2 here. Then I'm going to bring down the 1. All right, so it looks like I got that one right. Now, let's try to see how many times 3 will fit into 21. Remember, I'm not just trying to fit 3 into the 1, I'm trying to fit 3 into the 2 that I had left over and the 1 that I brought down, the 21. How many times do you think it's going to fit in there? I'll take a guess, and I want you to see if I get it right or wrong. What if I take the guess and I say the guess is 5? I'm going to guess 5. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I too high? Am I too low? You tell me. Pause the video and see if you can figure it out. I actually ended up being too low on this guess. Let's prove it and let's see where this guess is going to go. If I multiply, I'll do 5 times 3, which will give me 15. Okay, it's not too high because 15 is less than 21. But if I do my subtraction, I have left over 6. I can still fit another 3 in here. That means that 5 was too low. So I'd have to go back and I'd have to erase all of this part here where I tried to do my subtracting and was wrong, and where I made my guess of 5 and I was wrong. 5 was too low. Let's try another one. What if I try the number 8? If I try the number 8, am I right? Am I wrong? Am I too high or am I too low? What do you think? I think this is going to end up being too high because if I multiply 3 times 8, I get 24. I can't take 24 away from 21, so I know that that number is too high. That was checked when I did the multiplying step. 24 is too big to fit into 21. So 8 is too big of a guess. Hopefully now you know where our guess should be. We said 5 was too low. We said 8 was too high. Let's pick a number in between. It'll either be 6 or 7. Do you think it's going to be 6? Do you think it's going to be 7? What do you think? I think it's going to be 7. So I'm going to write 7 up here. Then I'm going to multiply. 3 times 7 gives us 21. I do my subtraction. I have a 0 and nothing left to bring down, so I know that I'm done. I know I didn't go too high because 21 is not bigger than 21. And I know I didn't go too low because I can't fit another 3 into what's left over. So I know my answer is 27. How'd you do? Let's try another one. This time, let's try a 2-digit number. So I'm going to use the number 230 divided by 15. Go ahead and pause the video. Try to solve this one. When you've solved it, come on back. Okay, the first thing that I'll do is I'll write in my DMSB letters. That's does McDonald's serve burgers, which helps me to remember divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So first I'm going to try to fit this 15 into the 2. How many times did you say 15 fits into the 2? Well, I don't think 15 fits into the 2 at all. So I'm going to put an X or a 0 up there. You'll see some people doing an X and some people doing a 0. I'm going to do a 0 just so that way it's easier for us to understand what's happening. I'm going to say 0 up here. It fits in there 0 times. Then I'll multiply. 15 times 0 gives me 0. Okay, it's not too big because 0 isn't bigger than 2. Then I'm going to subtract. And I have 2 left over. Since I can't fit 15 into 2, I know I didn't go too small. Now I'm at the B step, which is bringing down. I bring down the next digit. How many times do I think 15 fits into 23? Well, I think 15 fits into 23 one time, so I'm going to write 1 up here. 1 times 15 gives me 15. I do my subtraction, and I have an 8 here. Okay, so now I've got an 8 here. I know it wasn't too big because I was able to fit 15 into 23. I was able to do my subtraction. After I do my subtraction, I can't fit another 15 in there, so I know I didn't go too small. So it looks like I got that one right. Next, I'll bring down this 0. And I'll say, how many times do I think this 15 will fit into 80? How many times do I think this 15 will fit into 80? Ooh, this one could be hard because 15 is not one of the numbers that I usually know the multiplication fact to. I could try to count by 15s, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. Then I can count up to 90 and I can say, okay, 90 is too much. I could count by 15s, or I could make some guesses and check. We don't actually have to know how to count by 15s. We can just make guesses and check. So let's see some examples of me guessing and checking. So if I guess and I say, I think that looks like around 4, what do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Am I too high? Am I too low? Let's try it out. I'm going to multiply 15 times 4. 15 times 4, that's going to give me 60. Okay, I didn't go too high because 60 is less than 80. Then I do my subtraction, and I end up with a 20. Uh-oh, 20, I can still fit another 15 in there. So that means that 4 was too low. Our guess of 4 was too low. So I'm going to have to erase all of this and go back and guess a higher number. Okay, 4 was too low. What if I try 6? So I'm going to try 6. What do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Am I too high? Am I too low? What do you think? Well, let's multiply it out to see. When I multiply 6 times 15, 6 times the 5 is 30. 6 times the 1 is 6 plus the 3, which gives us 9. 90, I can't fit 90 into 80. That's too big. So I know 6 is too big. All right, so we said that 4 was too small and 6 was too big. What number should we use? That's right, of course we should use 5. So I'm going to use 5. 5 times 15 gives us 75. Then I do my subtraction and I have 5 left over. Well, this leftover 5, because I don't have anything left to bring down, this is going to turn into my remainder. So I've got 15 with a remainder, or a leftover bit, of 5. Our answer is 15 remainder 5. If you got both of those right, you can go ahead and turn off the video. You are great. If you messed up one of those two, go ahead and stick around. I'm going to show you 2 common mistakes that people make when they are dividing. So here are 2 mistakes that people make when they're dividing. The first mistake, and one of the most common, is that people will double stack. What I mean by that is if I have the number 72 and I'm dividing 72 by 3, sometimes people will say, okay, I guess 3 goes into 7 one time. 3 times 1 gives them 3. They do their subtraction, they have a 4 here. But instead of realizing that because they can fit another 3 into this 4, that they needed to get a higher number up here, they needed to change their guess, they just keep on trying to divide. They don't go through all of their steps. So because they don't go through all their steps, they say, oh, well, 3 will fit into 4 one time. 3 times 1 gives us 3. We do our subtraction, we have a 1. Then they realize they have to bring things down, and they say 3 goes into 12 4 times. But now they've got 114. Obviously, 3 can't fit into 72 114 times. What happened is they stacked these up, and they retook from the same digit. We can't do that. Let's go back and let's solve it the correct way. So if I solve this the correct way, 72 divided by 3, what will happen is I'll say, okay, 3 goes into 7. Let's say I made the same mistake one time. When I do my subtraction, I notice that this 3 can still fit into the 4. So that means that 1 was too small. Instead, I should go with a higher number. Let's go with 2. 3 times 2 gives us 6. We do our subtraction, we have a 1. Now because 3 can't fit into the 1, now I'm good to go on to the next number. So I bring this 2 down. How many times does 3 go into 12? Well, I think 3 goes into 12 4 times. So 3 times 4 gives us 12. We do our subtraction, we have a 0 and nothing left to bring down. Now I've got the right answer. So one common mistake is to double stack. If you keep getting numbers that are way too long or way too big up top, it's probably because you're double stacking. Be careful and make sure you're pulling down just the right numbers. The next common mistake is when you're not lining up your numbers carefully. So for example, if I have 452 and I try to divide that by 2, sometimes if you're not careful with lining up your numbers, if you write it in sloppily, you can end up cutting out some of the numbers you need to be dividing with. So for example, let's pretend that I make this mistake. I say 2 goes into 4 2 times. And if I get a little sloppy and I write 2 a little bit too big up here, then I might say 2 times 2 gives me 4. I'll do my subtraction. I have 0 here. And because I've written it sloppily, I might not notice that the 5 is the next thing I have to bring down. Instead, I might bring down this 2. If I do that, I'm going to think the answer is 21. But that's not our answer, because I skipped. I never did anything with this 5. That's not okay. I have to use all the numbers in my dividend. This is caused by not lining up our numbers carefully. So let me show you how it should have been done. If I line up 452 divided by 2, and I make sure I'm careful with how I line them up, 2 goes into 4, I guess 2 times. 2 times 2 gives us 4. I have a 0 here. I can't stop because I still have things to bring down. I'm going to bring this 5 down. That was our mistake, remember, on the last one, is I brought down the 2 when I should have brought down the 5. 2 goes into 5. Again, I think it's 2 times. 2 times 2 gives us 4. I do my subtraction. I have a 1, and I bring this 2 down. Then 2 goes into 12, a total of 6 times. 2 times 6 gives us 12. We do our subtraction. I have a 0 here and nothing left to bring down. So our answer is 226. If you're usually getting numbers that are way too big, check and see if you're double stacking. If you're usually getting numbers that are way too small, check and see if you're lining up all the digits correctly. I hope this helped, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.